Imagine your mother's talking to you. This is your mother, the woman who gave birth to you. She's talking to you about something that really means a lot to her, and you can't pay attention. Now imagine you're reading a book. This book could change your life. It's full of so much value. You read a sentence and you forget it. You read the sentence again and you forget it. It doesn't stay in your mind. This is how Jeffrey is content to live for the rest of his life. But Adonis strives for improvements. There is a special habit that Adonis does, which leads to him being present in loving conversations, which allows him to digest the wisdom from great people, and it's meditation. Meditation seems like a weird thing that a lot of people explain in very complicated ways, and they don't use plain English. I hate that so much. I'm gonna explain it to you in a way that you can fully understand. No BS, using normal people words. I'm not gonna use sophisticated language like all these motherfuckers do. First of all, why should you even care? Is there a good reason to meditate? A lot of people are telling you to meditate, but what real benefits? Not this scientific checkpoints that meditation has been shown. Shut the fuck up. What are some real specific benefits that you will feel in your normal day-to-day life? Number one, your attention span will improve. So right now, you might not want to believe this and your brain will argue with this. I promise you this is the truth. Right now, your attention span is fucking trash. When you spend time on modern technologies like TikTok, Instagram, even YouTube, even watching my videos, your attention span gets worse because content is just so quick these days. However we consume information trains our brain to get better at that same level of consumption. So for the dumbasses who spend time on TikTok, think about it, they're consuming information every 2 seconds. When you scroll on Instagram and Twitter, you're consuming information every 0.5 seconds. You're training your brain to not be able to hold focus and attention for longer than a second. And so what does this specifically look like for you? When you navigate your life and you're speaking to people or you're just walking somewhere, you'll find that your brain is just more active. It just talks a lot more. You'll be in a conversation with someone and that's like an exchange of information, and you'll be able to stay present, focus on what this other person is saying for literally seconds, and then you'll get a thought which is completely irrelevant to the current conversation. You'll try and read a book, you'll read one sentence, and then again, you'll get a thought which is completely irrelevant to what you're reading. Think about how much of life you're missing out on because you're not able to dive deep into these things. You're not able to get into a very deep conversation with someone without your brain just ticking off somewhere else. Think about how it's going to affect your relationships now that you're going to take meditation more seriously. Your ability to stay present in conversations is going to be improved. And so you'll be able to actually connect with each other so much better than if your mind was just wandering elsewhere. And this is now why you see why I'm making this video. Because imagine that you improve your presence through meditation, but you're still speaking to the same people and their mind is wandering. You're still not going to be able to connect with them that well, are you? I don't have anything to sell you. Why I preach so much for meditation, the reason why I want more people to meditate is because when I get into conversations with someone, I wish that they meditated for the last 6 months. It's as simple as that. And when you get into consistent meditation, you'll be like one of those people who always talks about it, who always wants other people to get onto it. It's my own selfish benefit. I hope that when you take meditation seriously, me and you will end up having a conversation sometime in the future. I do meetups fairly regularly where I post on my Instagram. I'm in this city because I travel quite a lot. So I'm in Amsterdam, I'm in London, and I always post, okay, yeah, come and meet me. I've got a free day. Let's go do a workout together, guys. And literally 50 people will show up, 100 people will show up. And I want those 100 young men, our cult members, I want them to have been meditating for a while so that when I talk to them, we can stay present in our conversation together. We can connect like brothers. Because one of the worst things is when you want to have a deep conversation with someone, when you really want to get closer to someone and you just see their mind wandering elsewhere. And think about how important meditation is for when you want to connect with a woman. You could have so many insecure thoughts. You're you're overthinking, you're panicking, this girl's really, really hot. You're thinking so many different things. Your ability to connect with her is going to be reduced. When you're starting to get more and more intimate and you're going to have sex with this woman, you don't want those same thoughts going through in your mind. You'd love to just be present. Your ability to make love is totally determined by your level of presence, and your presence is determined by how often you meditate. Now that's got your attention. Now you're like, wait, what? I'd be better at sex if I've meditated. Well, come on, Hamza, teach you how to meditate. So I'm not going to drag on this explanation of meditation with specific shit you won't understand. I want to explain it in the way that 16-year-old me would have understood. And 16-year-old me was a dumbass. So meditation is all about just keeping your focus on one single thing at once. There's so many different ways to meditate, but this is the way that you want with the benefits that we've just spoke about. This is how you do it, right? We need to keep our focus on one specific thing. We'll just make it the breath. It's always the breath. When you follow guides on mobile apps or YouTube videos, it's always the breath, and it's because the breath is a very nice thing to tie the meditation to. You can do it to anything. You can do it to sounds. You can do it to the feeling in your feet and your fingertips, but the breath is just a nice thing. So essentially, the way that we're going to meditate is to just try our best to keep the focus on our breath at all times. Now, here's the thing. This is where most people get a little bit confused. When you get a realization that you are no longer focused on the breath. So literally, okay, just focus on your breath. Choose where you want to focus. So it could be your stomach, it could be your nose, whatever you want to do. I'll use my nose. So I'm just focusing on my breath and my nose. Total focus. Just do that with me. Just focus on one part of your body, which you can feel your breath. Let's just use like this nostril here. We do this for a couple of seconds. It can be longer than that. It can be shorter. And you'll get this thought. You'll get a thought about something else. Maybe the thought is about meditation itself. It's about this video. Maybe it's about something completely irrelevant. But somehow at some point, we will just get a thought which shows us that we are no longer totally focused on our breath. When you get this thought, you might feel a little bit negative because you're like, oh, well, I lost focus. But you need to understand, most people get this wrong. You need to understand when you get that thought, that realization that you are no longer focused on your breath. That's such a good thing because that is your opportunity to bring the focus back to your breath. And it's this act of bringing the focus back to your breath, which is literally the point of meditation. The point of meditation is all about bringing your focus back to the present moment. Say that with me. Bring your focus back to the present moment. You want that realization like, oh, I was thinking about something else. Okay, come on, focus back on the breath. You want this process as many times as possible. Every time you realize that you are mindless, that you are thinking about something else, and then you bring the focus back to your breath. That's like doing one push-up for your brain. It's like doing one squat for like the part of your brain that is improved through meditation. Does that make sense? So I'll walk you through it one more time. We're going to focus on one particular thing. Let's change the focus. Let's now change the focus to how our fingertip feels if we just do this. I'm just rubbing my thumb, okay? Just do this. Totally focus on this. Within literally probably like a split second, but it takes a little while to realize, your focus changed. I was focusing on this, and then a second later, I noticed that I started focusing more on my stomach. So then as soon as I felt that, my focus is back here. Focus on this. Do this as well, so focus on this. Your brain will go elsewhere, you'll think about something, your focus will go somewhere else, bring it back there, boom. That's another push-up for the brain, well done. Let's try and get as many reps as possible. And again, I just felt my focus went to my stomach, I brought it back up here, that's another push-up for me. I'm winning right now, bro. And again, my focus just went back, because I'm kind of like holding in my stomach as I speak. I'm really like conscious of like letting it go. I've brought my focus back here again. Meditation is simply just bringing your focus back to the present moment, and you choose something to focus on which symbolizes the present moment. So this is happening in the present moment. I'm breathing in the present moment. Those sounds are in the present moment. We focus on one of these things. We focus as much as we can, totally feel it with as much detail as possible. We get the realization that, okay, we're not present anymore. We're deep in thought. I was just thinking about something else. And we bring the focus back there. So when you're first starting off, do this for like 60 seconds. Literally just set a timer on your phone, 60 seconds, 1 minute, and literally just focus as best as you can. And you'll lose your focus and you don't have to come back to the focus again. Literally 10, 20, 30 times in that minute. That's completely fine. Do it for like literally 1 minute to begin with, and then do it every day. Habit stack it. So like do it at the same time every day. Do it before or after the same kind of activity that you know that you could stay consistent with. And I know that right now this seems insignificant. You're thinking, okay, 1 minute of just doing this per day, or 1 minute of feeling my breath. But the idea is that we're going to start small so that it feels so easy, so frictionless. And then we're going to progressively overload this. Because 1 minute, I'll be totally honest with you, right? It's not really going to change that much in your normal day-to-day life. But what it will change is that 1 minute will lead to 2 minutes. 2 minutes will lead to 3. By the time that you start meditating about 10 minutes every day for about 2 weeks, you'll feel a benefit. Everyone always does it at this point. You can miss like a couple of days here and there, but try your absolute best to like just make it as consistent as possible, because you'll get better results. You'll get better rewards if you do that. 10 minutes a day. And then once you get to the point where you're doing 10 minutes consistently, maybe you're doing 20 minutes consistently, bro, you've hit like a very, very good level of presence. Then the idea is, okay, do 10 to 20 minutes a day, every single day for the rest of your life. And then if you want to take this one step further, the final thing that I would really recommend, take a big step back from modern technology. It's weird for me to say this because my business is on modern technology. I would make more money for you not following this advice. I care more about young men improving their mental health than I do about like getting more views on YouTube. And my life truly transformed when I took a big step back from like watching shit on YouTube, scrolling down on Instagram, from being on like those shitty apps. I remember I deleted Snapchat and never used it ever again. That really transformed my life. And I really wish that for you. You can subscribe to our channel if you want to. Welcome to the cult. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.